when I graduated high school, I just really just barely graduated high school. It was like 1/10 of a 1/100th of a thing, and I did not apply to college. I wasn't signed up for anything, and so they gave me my permanent record, which is not a thing I knew was real or thought like existed. I thought it was made up by like Ferris Bueller movies, I was like, so then they gave me this huge file on me, which was a lot at 17, and I was looking through like notes that teachers had written about me since first grade, and I realized that I was severely disabled, which is not a thing I knew about myself, or I did know, but I had just kind of pushed to the side, and year after year, and they weren't nice about it. I had severe learning disabilities. This human is not up to, like, evolutionary, something's wrong with this boy. And I sort of remembered in first grade, we had, there was reading levels, right? And there was different colored books, and there was the blue for the advanced kids, and there was the red for the normal kids, and there was another color, yellow, for the rest of us who reading probably wasn't going to happen for us, but this is public school, so they got to try, and there was a group of us all in this special education group, and each day we went to a special weird room where there was a teacher who was better than the other teachers. I don't know why that person didn't just teach the main whatever. So each year a couple kids graduated from this group, until 5th grade, when it was just me. And every day, and actually the teacher switched. So there was this really nice woman, Mrs. Swan, all through up until 4th grade, and then in 5th grade there was this other woman. And it's weird, I disliked her so much that I've blocked her name out of my mind. I remember Mrs. Swan clearly, but this other woman, I can't remember her name. And she came to class every day and said, "Brian, it's time." Like that. She said, "Brian, it's time." And then I had to stand up in front of everyone and walk out of the room because I was dumber than everyone. And we went into this room and she just made me write, incessantly. I just wrote and wrote and wrote, and she was a drill sergeant. She was on my ass. She was going to physically beat the dyslexia out of me. And I just copied things over. That was it. She would hand me things to copy over, and I just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And I hated her, and I hated the whole thing. And and at that point, I was just no to school. And so I graduated high school, which is surprising in of itself. And I was reading everything these teachers wrote about me, and I hated them so much. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to college, and I'm gonna get my revenge. And so I was and my revenge was drinking a lot and doing a lot of drugs. And so I, into my 20s, I drank a lot and did a lot of drugs and then became a writer. Of course, and and then later I went on to go to college. In my 30s, I decided to go to school, and people would be oh, it's so, it's brave of you to go back to school, and I'm like, I wish you would remove the word "back" from that sentence, because it wasn't guaranteed to begin with. And I don't know if you've ever gone to such lengths to prove someone wrong that you end up proving them right. I was just so angry, for so long. I was so angry that I think I like learned something, like, and like these people like again, like fuck them, but I guess they taught me something, you know, against my better judgment. So last year I graduated college. Uh, I graduated from PSU, and now I work with 5-year-old boys on the autism spectrum. And I just became that woman. I became her. Like, I became the thing I hated. I spent so much time hating a thing, I became it. And I'm not a drill sergeant, though. I am, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm a hopeless softie. And the whole thing was rigged against me. Thank you.